What's up, guys? CJ here, and welcome back to another all-new episode of the Hybrid TV Podcast, episode number 12. I'm joined, as always, by the usual suspects, Tim.
How's it going, everyone?
Will.
What's poppin', people?
And Nick.
How's it going?
Speaking of stuff that might affect the DCEU, Disney,
Marvel.
as I'm sure you guys are all aware, is currently in aggressive negotiations to purchase 21st Century Fox, or actually specifically a sizable portion of their assets, literally everything not news and sports or the main Fox broadcast network. Disney is currently in negotiations to purchase that for upwards of $60 billion. So Disney's about to shell out for that. A lot of people, of course, are going to focus on the fact that that means they're buying 20th Century Fox, which gets them all of the characters that Marvel sold back in the 90s back. They also get all the other franchises and stuff like that. But what a lot of people don't realize is this will have a massive effect on the television landscape. Now, I said Fox News is going to maintain, they're still going to be there and still under News Corp. Fox Sports, same story. And, your Fox 5 channel, your Fox 12, whatever your local Fox station, that's not going to be owned by Disney. Because there are actually laws prohibiting a company from owning more than one, and Disney owns ABC. What it does mean, though, is that Fox is going to get, or Disney is getting all of Fox's TV production studios, or a lot of them, FX channels like FX and National Geographic, the other channels that Fox owns, and their stake in Sky, in Star, the international broadcasters, and I think it's 33%. They're a really large ownership stake in Hulu. And that is massive. This is, a pretty massive deal, obviously. $60 billion. I think a lot of people... I spoke to somebody back when the news broke, and they were like, I don't see Disney paying more than $4 billion for anything. And I was like, okay, just wait. It's going to be huge. $60 billion.
It's going to be huge.
That's huge.
You'd be huge.
Yeah, it's about
Huge
25% of Disney's net worth. So they're putting a lot on the line for this. But they're getting a lot in return. What effect do you guys think this is going to have? I mean, obviously, we can talk about the effect on Hulu, the effect on how this affects how Disney negotiates with Netflix, and as they gear up for their own streaming service. Specifically, let's focus in on Hulu and the streaming service, because that's going to lead into our next conversation.
Right. Yeah.
Disney now getting a 33% stake in Hulu. They already have Runaways on that platform. They're working on additional content for Hulu. But with the specter of their own streaming service, do you guys think this is kind of going to be a short-lived partnership?
I don't think... I feel like they're best... Unless they want to have full ownership of the streaming platform, which they may very well want, I feel like just moving... all their assets they're going to put onto Hulu is a better option, just because it has an established viewer base already.
That's true. That's definitely possible. I kind of feel like the wheels are too much in motion for the Disney streaming service to really kind of shift in that direction. But I mean, it's always possible. They definitely could do that. It's worth noting that they would not own like a majority share in Hulu. They would own, I think at 33%, they would have a larger... I might be wrong about that. Let me double check that. I believe they would have a larger stake than any other individual ownership, partner. But Will, what do you think this? You are our Runaways guy. What do you think this would mean for Hulu and for the future of Disney streaming service?
I think, in regards to that, it would probably have an influence on what direction the show might take in the future if it does get a season 2. But in regards to like Hulu specifically, I get what you were saying about the 33% and all that.
Ooh, actually, real quick, let me jump in here. This is kind of surprising. Yeah. 21st Century Fox owns 30%, Comcast owns 30%, Time Warner owns 10%, and the final 30% is owned by none other than the Walt Disney Corporation. So if Disney buys Fox, Disney would
have majority share,
60% of Hulu, and so they would be able to do not like whatever the hell they want, but I mean. More or less
changes. Yeah, that
kind of changes everything.
Definitely have some influence on what they do over there. I don't think they're going to always exercise that power, but I think it's just going to be just enough to do like certain things that they want and have certain shows where they want them to go.
Right.
They might move Runaways off of it to their streaming service in a couple of years.
And that's kind of the big question, I think, is would they consider moving Runaways? There was a big thing that came out today, and I'm sure Marvelite's going to talk about this later this week. The big news that came out today about Netflix and the future of the Disney streaming service and those shows is that Netflix actually owns the rights to the Defenders, or they own the rights to those shows because they own the distribution rights. So those shows would probably end when Disney starts its new streaming service. Definitely an interesting phenomenon, an interesting scenario there. And certainly something to watch with Hulu, because now what Tim said kind of looks a little more likely. I didn't know that they would own, if they own 60% of the company, they could very well just say, okay, we're going to make Hulu basically the Disney streaming service. And that actually kind of makes a little more sense when you consider, when you consider the fact that they haven't come up with a name yet for that. Maybe
its name is Hulu.
Its name is Hulu.
Disnet.
They call it Hulu. But no, certainly this definitely would be a question.
Wait, Disney would own Batman on TV, too.
They would also own the film rights to Batman,
would.
seeing as Fox owns that. Now, I'm sure that would be...
Well, the TV rights, I'm pretty sure WB still owns the film rights.
That's true.
Yeah,
they own the rights to Batman.
Wait, so
on
what
TV.
do they do with that, then? Like, do they put them in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Do they
or
sell it
something?
back
Whatever
to
they
DC?
want.
They said the Arrow Crisis on Earth X got a little cute and mentioned Spider-Man. Guess what? Batman and S.H.I.E.L.D. No.
They sell it back to DC for $60 billion.
Yeah.
What is this, a crossover episode?
That'd be a fucking move right there. They sell them back for the $1 billion. It's like nothing was lost.
Definitely would be interesting. I mean, I'm assuming this would probably
Thanks
be
for
the end
paying
of
for our asset, WB.
Actually, hold on one
I
second.
really want to get Batman on Arrow. Get him that CW spinoff for
doing
Friday nights at 8.
a little live research. Little live research on camera.
I mean, on camera.
On
We show our
camera.
faces
On mic. On mic.
Yeah, no, but that would... Gotham might be good if Disney owns them, or at least on the level of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They would also own Lucifer, wouldn't they?
They would, I believe.
They would own the devil.
Disney, oddly enough, owning Satan. And Batman. Yeah, I don't know. If I was Disney and I had the rights to Batman, if that was something they were allowed to have, shit, man, I'm canceling Gotham first thing. I was like, and it's time to go. We're getting a new Batman show about Batman growing up as the Man of Bat.